Hello guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be really personal, and at the same time I also want to make sure that you have some learnings from this entire video too. I'm going to talk about why I left the US, why I left McKinsey, and also at the same time I'm going to make sure I tell you how I prepared for this entire journey. Okay? Before I jump into the discussion, I read something very interesting today on LinkedIn. Somebody wrote that, hey, if you take a risk and it pays off, then it's a masterstroke. If it doesn't pay off, then it's a blunder. Let us see. The verdict is still not out yet. And I'm hoping that, hey, I'll be on the positive side of this entire equation. Okay, so let's jump right into the first chapter. That is, hey, why did I actually make this entire transition? The first and the most important reason personally for me was my family. Well, to start off with, I moved back to India from the US in 2018, late 2018, and my family was there in the US with me in 2016 and 2017. I tried to convince them and see that, hey, do you want to settle down over there? Do you want to live with us in the long run? But my mom and dad were like super clear. They told me that, hey, they are missing their social circle. They don't want to spend like a long time in the US. So they immediately actually moved back to India. In fact, they booked their flight tickets to stay there for 6 months, but they cut short their entire trip by 1 month, saying that, hey, it's now getting boring for them. Right? So my family was clearly not able to adjust or live there in the long run. So I had two options. One, to either come back and spend time with the family, or to continue working in the US. Nothing is right or wrong over here, but I decided that, hey, I wanted to spend time with family. Well, I was not doing any favors for them, but it was for my own selfish reasons. I enjoy spending time with my family. So I didn't want to miss out on that aspect. There is no monetary benefit or there is no monetary ROI you can calculate on these things, but you will know for a fact that, hey, yes, how much you value these things versus like, hey, do you want to spend a little more time over there, right? So I was clear and I moved back. The other reason was also that, hey, I had a 1-year-old, 2-year-old kid at that point in time, and I wanted him to spend more time with his grandparents. Of course, again, he will learn a lot of good things from grandparents. I didn't want to miss out on that. So, purely for selfish reasons, I moved back. Now, the second reason why I moved back was related to my employer, that is McKinsey. Again, nothing wrong with McKinsey per se, but I was on H-1B visa while I was working with McKinsey. When you work on a H-1B visa, you can't really start something else on your own, right? You need to have the support of your employer, right? Your employer will be filing for your visa. So I could not leave my job and start something by myself anyways. And I wanted to dabble with entrepreneurship big time. There was no other option but for coming back, right? That was number two. The third reason why I could actually move back was because of the support from my wife. She was like completely cool when I said that, hey, why don't we move back? What do you think about it? She was like, okay, let's do it. And absolutely no questions. She was like, I understand that, hey, you want to move to spend more time with parents, and nothing wrong with that. And you want to explore entrepreneurship, and that's not possible here. So there is no reason why we should be here. So let's move back. So if you get that kind of a support and trust from partner, it's very easy for you to make these kind of difficult choices. Right? Now, let me tell you a little bit about how I planned for this entire transition. While I moved back in 2018, I was planning for this transition from 2016 itself. I was thinking about continuously, hey, how much short-term savings fund should I have? Should it be for 6 months? Should it be for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months? How much money should I actually have in my bank account? Is it like 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs? How much would I be comfortable with? Because I have a kid, I have family, and also like a lot of other responsibilities that come along with it. So I made sure that I have like enough financial cushion before I moved back, and I didn't have a guaranteed revenue stream after I moved back. So I made sure that, hey, this cushion was strong enough. The second thing which I also planned even before I came back was that, hey, I started reaching out to my network. I started connecting with a lot of folks in the startup space to understand, hey, what can I do, what I can't do, Is it a good time for me to come back? So on and so forth. Right? Well, it did give me a lot of confidence, and it helped me get started immediately when I moved back. And also it gave me some opportunities for building side income streams. Right? That is number 2. The third thing again has to do a lot with my wife and partner. Right? What we discussed was that, hey, when we move back, it is not a good idea for both of us to keep digging into our savings funds, right? So what we decided was that, hey, one of us have to have a stable income stream. That is, we go back into the corporate world. Since anyways, I wanted to move into the startup space, my wife said, okay, let me go back into the corporate space and let me be that guinea pig for you, right? Absolutely. She was like super supportive. She mentioned that, hey, yes, I will do it. And she moved back into the corporate world within 10 days of us moving back into the country, right? So if you see that across both these aspects, like why I moved back and how I made this transition easier, it is super important for you to notice that, hey, the support system for you should be extremely, extremely strong. You need to align with your support system to make sure that these decisions are taken, and also you can stand by them. And also, if you believe that, hey, this transition is worthwhile, why don't you like the video and subscribe to the channel? It will only inspire me to do these things in a better way. Now, moving forward, what should you take away from this experience? The first thing that I would tell you is that, hey, if you are in your 20s, right, early 20s, late 20s, make sure that, hey, you use this time to explore different career paths. You might want to move from software engineering to data analytics. You might want to move from, let's say, investment banking to consulting, or consulting to somewhere else, or career path A to career path B, whatever it is, doesn't matter. These transitions become easier for you if you are in your early 20s or like late 20s. Right? These transitions become even tougher for you if you actually are in your 30s. The reason being that employers are willing to take a bet on you if you are still a young professional, because they believe that, hey, these guys can come, adopt to a new environment, and start contributing from day one. Whereas if somebody has 10-15 years of experience, they start having a lot of doubts. They already have a lot of experience. Will they be able to contribute to this new environment? Right? So you need to make sure that if you are in your early stages of your career, and if you are thinking about different career options, well, we all do think about different career options. Make sure that you actually transition at this time. Okay? Because later on it becomes difficult. The second thing I want to emphasize is that, hey, make sure at any point in time you have a good enough short-term savings fund. Right? I'm not talking about long-term, like funds which you can't touch. No, I'm talking about specifically short-term savings funds. Right? Because that gives you a lot of peace of mind, and it gives you the freedom for you to explore a few of these things. If you have 6 months savings fund, and if you say that, hey, I'm going to move into a new job in a new career field, if it doesn't work, that's fine. I'll move back into my old career stream in 3 months. Right? That kind of confidence and that kind of risk-taking ability you will be having if you have that enough financial cushion. And in your 20s, typically having a 6-month, 8-month financial cushion is good enough. Right? The third thing which I also want to mention is, if you are already well settled in your career, use that time to network with folks. You never know when, hey, your career might be off the track, or when you might hit some roadblocks, right? But when you are at a good place, try to build networks which can be helpful when you are actually hitting that roadblock in the future. You can't make these fresh connections all of a sudden when you hit a roadblock. You invest time and you make sure that you are adding value to others so that they will add value to you later on. These are more softer aspects of the things, and you need to spend time and also cultivate and think about these things. You have good savings fund, you have good network, right? Number 3, you make sure that, hey, you are thinking about these career transitions so that you spend time learning new courses, new things, or learning about new skills, right? So think about these things, and I hope that, hey, I have made a transition, a difficult transition a few years back. The verdict is still out. Don't know whether it's going to be a successful one or whether it's not going to be a successful one. But as you can see, I'm really enjoying my work. I'm really able to add value to a lot of folks. So that keeps me going. If you are also thinking about this transition, give yourself a little bit of breathing room and you will succeed. All right, guys, take care and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.